All right, folks, we're going to talk about buy, sell, or neutral for altcoins today. Yes, we're going to do it with respect to Bitcoin because I believe it's pretty much buy for everything when you call the US dollar, because I do believe Bitcoin, despite today's drop, is about to go up and pretty massively going into the halving. Now, we're going to start with Bitcoin itself. And Bitcoin we have to do with respect to the US dollar because obviously Bitcoin's going to be neutral with respect to itself. So Bitcoin's obviously going to be a buy. We're heading into the halving. The ETF is going to come. Gary Gensler is going to be pwned. There's not too much to say about Bitcoin. We're going up. Ethereum, with respect to Bitcoin, I actually do believe it's a buy. Why? Because the Ethereum ETF has just come online. Well, they filed it. I do believe it's going to pass. And I think by this time next year, we'll have an Ethereum ETF and people will pile into Ethereum as well. Plus, Ethereum is just more useful than Bitcoin. Yes, it's slightly faster, but it does have smart contracts. Bitcoin ordinals, people are going to discover, are a disaster. Now, Ethereum transaction fees aren't much better, but there's plenty of layer 2 solutions, and there's going to be a lot of liquidity passing through Ethereum. Plus, it has Tether and USDC, so there's going to be a lot of development on there. Plus, the ETF filing, it's a buy. USDT doesn't count. BNB right now is very hard to say. I'm going to say slight sell because of the legal problems that BNB has, including with BSD, although they kind of morphed that into two other stablecoins. Binance is ceding some market share because of that to other exchanges, and I do believe BNB could have some trouble. I don't know if it'll perform as well, nearly as well as last time or last bull run. So BNB is going to be a slight sell. I like Binance. I think they provide really good service. I don't think they're a scam. But the US government does not see it that way, and neither do a lot of other governments. I think they want to kick Binance out to support their own exchanges in their own countries, and that could be bad for Binance. XRP, I'm going to say slight sell. Now, some people are excited about the ETF filing. I think most likely it's probably fake. But if it was real, this would change automatically to a buy. I do think Swell did pump it up quite a lot, and I do think we're still settling down a little bit from the Swell news. So slight sell, maybe bordering on neutral right now. Could change immediately to buy, however, if that XRP ETF filing was real. And a bit about that ETF, why I believe it's actually kind of fake, and how come the Ethereum one is not fake when it looks the same way. I think they kind of copied the Ethereum filing, but I do not think BlackRock actually filed it. The thing about the Ethereum and Bitcoin trust, or especially the Ethereum trust, is after they filed it, the SEC immediately pretty much filed an ETF with NASDAQ and the SEC, proving that it is real, and BlackRock did actually confirm it. BlackRock has not confirmed this one, and so far as I know, there is no filing with the NASDAQ or the SEC for the actual ETF. Remember, a trust filing is not an ETF filing, it is just a shell placeholder until you file the actual ETF in this regard. So the thing is, there were also fake Grayscale filings of this type when Grayscale came up. So it's not necessarily something new. I think this was brought to attention because there's a lot of people in the XRP community that are hoping for an ETF. But right now, it does seem to be somewhat fake. However, BlackRock has not confirmed whether it's fake or real. And the thing is, it's actually very easy to file these things in the state of Delaware. You just have to pay a couple $100, fill out the right forms. The two witnesses could technically be anyone. So as long as you paid the fees, the state may not want to remove the placeholder. You'd probably have to call the state of Delaware. As for Eric Balchunas, did he actually contact BlackRock to see if it was fake or real? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been pretty decent with information, so I don't really see any real reason for me to truly doubt him at this point. But obviously, it's not 100% confirmed whether it's fake or real. And if it is real, I think this switches immediately to a buy from a slight sell. Solana is hard to gauge. I'm going to say sell for right now because I think it pumped too high. However, that easily could be wrong because Solana's more whale influenced than any other coin, basically. Even without SBF's influence, Solana is that way. It's like 95, the supply is pretty much 95% controlled by whales. Others are like 40-50% controlled by whales, but Solana is essentially 95% controlled by whales and VCs, so they could pump it up to however much they actually want. Remember last time, like with all the TVL, it was like 90-95% fake. It was two guys basically double spending on the like counting their TVL investments many times over. And of course, we know that the pump from essentially like 3 cents to $200 was a lot because of SBF. He actually mentioned it in his testimony. So Solana right now, I think, is a sell because I think it pumped way too high during the pump. However, it continues to outperform. So take that with a grain of salt because I don't really know how much the VCs can pump it up. This one is very hard to gauge because the manipulation is pretty rampant and it's much higher than other coins. There's also Fire Dancer that people could actually get excited about, and people will pile in on a FOMO, obviously, as they always do. Cardano, I'm going to say, is a slight sell. They just got off their conference a week or two ago, and I do believe that they're going to slowly come down a little bit more. They're pumping with the rest of the market, but they did pump more than most of the other coins because of that conference, I believe. Charles is going to keep it in the spotlight, but I do believe that with respect to Bitcoin, it's going to come down. Remember, all these predictions are with respect to Bitcoin. I believe they'll all go up against the US dollar. But with respect to Bitcoin, slight sell for right now. Dogecoin, Elon Musk hasn't done anything, and Doge really hasn't gone up or down that much. I'm going to say neutral. It's been neutral for quite a while. I wish I could say buy, but it's neutral. But obviously, this is an Elon Musk thing. If Elon Musk tweets something, it can immediately go to buy. TRX and Justin Sun's going to be neutral. They have a big TVL, but we know that's basically just Justin Sun. And it's basically, TRX has basically been neutral like for like a year now, so I'm not going to change that. Polygon, this one is interesting. You know, a lot of the Ethereum layer 2s, because if Ethereum is positive, I'm going to go ahead and say buy. Because people are going to notice that Ethereum fees come up a lot, and the first thing they're going to do is go to layer 2s. Whether it's Polygon, Optimism, or Arbitrum, it doesn't really matter. I have to rate these a buy right now because just the amount of liquidity that could easily come over for Ethereum. And yes, these are the first coins that people would actually look to go to when they get off of Ethereum. The fees are a lot less, and there's already liquidity on these chains. Besides, like if you look at the DeFi Llama graph, besides Ethereum itself and Tron, it's Matic, Arbitrum, and Optimism that basically have the most TVL. The one threat from this is Coinbase's base token, of course, which doesn't actually have a token, but they're locking TVL as well. Chainlink, I'm going to continue to say buy. I think this is just a good crypto overall. Not only with the CCIP, their expanded staking, which still sucks, but they're working on it, obviously. And I do believe it's been undervalued for some time. DOT with the version 2.0, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's a buy. I still think most of the value is going to be in their parachains. AVAX, you know, like I've heard some stuff about AVAX. I'm going to go ahead and say buy. ARB is a buy for the same reason as Polygon. LTC is a sell because LTC is pointless. It's already lost its status as Bitcoin Silver. So it's not even really Bitcoin's testbed anymore, and I don't really see a purpose for LTC at all. The thing is, like, it's kind of Bitcoin, but it's not Bitcoin, which puts it in the odd category of like kind of like being BCH or BSV. And I don't really think this is the future. And Litecoin's foundation's like broke, so there's very little development. Shiba Inu, I think Shibarium hasn't really gone anywhere, so I'm going to say sell. BCH is a sell because, I mean, it does have random pumps now and then. I will give you that. But overall, like, BCH used to be top 5. Now it's like down at 20. So I'm not really all that, hype about BCH. I think people see it the way I do. It doesn't really have that much of a future. Trying to be a Bitcoin copycat. Cosmos Atom interoperability is going to be pretty big. But like I said about, kind of like DOT, it's going to have a hard time, or at least DOT 1.0, it's going to have a hard time actually capturing value away from the parachains. There's a lot of stuff being built on the Cosmos SDK, but that doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't necessarily mean Cosmos is going to go up. I'm going to rate this one as neutral until I get more information. XLM, slight sell. XMR, I would say buy, because I do believe as there's going to be people that want to escape taxes and money launder. That's always going to be a market. And Monero is actually the perfect thing to do that with, honestly. Yeah, it's a shady market, it's a gray market, but there's going to be a lot of demand for it. I won't be buying it because I don't really need it, but there are other people that are going to be buying it. ETC is a sell because ETC is pointless. I don't really know why it even exists anymore. Uniswap, I would say definitely buy, although it's down a lot today. I'm going to say buy because it is the biggest swap out there, and I think a lot of people are moving from CEXs to DEXs, and this is a really, really good coin if you're going to DEXs. It's the biggest one, and I think you're going to see a lot of use. Remember, when the fees go up on this stuff, like, more people are going to buy Uni, at least at first. So I think Uniswap is a buy. Filecoin, I would say buy. There's been a lot of talk about it. Storage coins definitely have their place. Kronos, buy. It's taking some of Binance's market share. They're actually doing a lot of good expansion. HBAR, buy. I think it's been undervalued for a while. It would do a lot better if they paid attention to their DeFi. But with the adoption and with the DeFi coming up, I'm going to have to say buy. I think it should be worth more than 5.7 cents. Lido, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say buy on this one. This one's hard for me to say because, yeah, it's like Ethereum's biggest staking pool. So, and Ethereum's going to be in some demand. So I'm going to say buy. KAS Kaspa, I'm going to say like, this one's like crazy. I think like if it hits 10, I think it's buy for right now. It hits 10 cents and then it like starts dropping on a sell. So my guess is like buy until it gets to 10 cents more or less, because it's actually up 7% today and where everything's down. There's some serious pump and dumping going on with Kaspa. Serious pumping right now. ICP, you guys might be surprised. I don't really like this one, but I'm going to say buy because it did drop from like $700, and even though I don't think it has any chance of getting back to $700, I think $100 is a possibility. And there is some hype about ICP. IMX, neutral for right now. I really like IMX, by the way, but it has pumped way more than most other coins. So it would be a buy, but after it cools down a little bit, it will be a buy again. But right now, I think it needs to cool down just a little bit. Near is going to be a sell for right now. Overall, it's a buy, but like short-term wise, it's a sell. NearCon just happened, and I do think it's going to come down a little bit from NearCon. Optimism is going to be a buy for the same reason as Arbitrum and Polygon. VET is neutral right now. If they really got more people onto the DeFi ecosystem, if this Coinbase Learn thing actually works, it would be a buy. For right now, at most, it's neutral right now. No, I can't really say anything about Mantle because I don't really know what Mantle is. MakerDAO, I'm fairly neutral on. AVE, I'm fairly neutral on. Injective, I think is a buy. I don't really know what MX token is. QNT, I still think is a buy. EGLD, there's a lot of hype going on for it right now. I'm going to be a buy. Neo is just always going to be a sell for me. It's not Chinese Ethereum and it tries to be Chinese Ethereum. GRT is going to be a I'm going to say buy because the AI narrative is really strong. GRT isn't actually AI. It's basically just a data indexing thing, but they're going to try to market themselves as AI, and I think that's going to kind of catch on. Axie, I'm going to say neutral. It's dropped enough. I don't think it's ever going to catch on back to its peak because I think it peaked in the last bull run. Algorand, I'm going to say neutral. Like, yeah, the DeFi ecosystem died, but it's at a really, really low price right now. I don't know what WBT is. I can't really speak on it. Aptos, I'm going to say neutral. I was pretty strong buying Aptos until they crashed. I don't know if they've really recovered from that, but they still got a lot of potential with a lot of apps on it. So that's the top 50 right now on Live Coin Watch. Buy, sell, or neutral. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.